What makes Canadian bacon so different from the crispy, fatty strips of American bacon? The answer lies in its cut and preparation. Instead of pork belly, it's made from lean, tender pork loin, giving it a mild, smoky flavor and ham-like texture. But how does a simple pork loin transform into the iconic breakfast staple we know and love? Today we're taking you inside the factory process, from curing and smoking to slicing and packaging. Here's a fun question for you. Which country eats the most bacon per capita? Stick around to find out. And before we dive in, let us know in the comments. Team Canadian bacon or Team Crispy Strips? Step 1. Selecting the pork loin. The journey of Canadian bacon begins with selecting premium quality pork loins. Unlike traditional bacon, which is sourced from the fatty pork belly, Canadian bacon is made from the lean, tenderloin section of the pig. This choice makes it a healthier alternative while maintaining a rich, meaty flavor. Butchers carefully trim off excess fat and connective tissue to ensure a uniform cut, which is essential for absorbing flavors evenly during the curing process. Typically, each loin weighs between 6 to 9 pounds before processing. The loins are then chilled to approximately 34 degrees Fahrenheit, a crucial step that firms up the meat for easier slicing and handling. High-precision cutting machines are used to achieve consistent sizing, with each loin being trimmed to around 2 to 3 inches in diameter. This uniformity is not just for aesthetics, it ensures even curing and smoking later in the process. The attention to detail at this stage guarantees that every slice of Canadian bacon looks and tastes the same, whether it's destined for a gourmet restaurant or your local grocery store. Once the loins are trimmed and sized, they're ready for the next phase: curing. Step 2. Curing the meat. Curing is a crucial stage in Canadian bacon production, responsible for both preservation and flavor development. Unlike dry-cured American bacon, Canadian bacon undergoes wet curing, also known as brining, to achieve its distinct taste and texture. Pork loins are submerged in a controlled brine solution consisting of water, salt, sucrose, sodium nitrate, and various seasonings, such as black pepper, garlic, and occasionally maple syrup for regional authenticity. Sodium nitrate is essential in inhibiting Clostridium botulinum growth, stabilizing the meat's color by binding with myoglobin and extending shelf life. Brining occurs over a 24 to 48 hour period at refrigeration temperatures to ensure uniform penetration of curing agents. Some manufacturers accelerate this process using multi-needle injection curing, where the brine is precisely distributed into the muscle fibers under controlled pressure. This method ensures consistent salt concentration and moisture retention throughout the loin. As the nitrate reacts with the meat's natural proteins, it develops a characteristic pink hue, a hallmark of properly cured Canadian bacon. After curing, the loins undergo a thorough rinsing process to remove excess brine before moving on to controlled drying, which prepares the surface for optimal smoke adhesion. Step 3. Drying the loins. Before the magic of smoking begins, the pork loins need to go through a critical drying process to develop a tacky surface called the pellicle. Think of this as the bacon's secret weapon. It's a thin, sticky layer that acts like a smoke agent, helping the wood's rich aroma to penetrate the meat and infuse it with that perfect smoky flavor we all crave. The drying process takes place in temperature-controlled rooms set to around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It can last anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, depending on how intense you want that flavor to be. During this time, powerful air circulation systems get to work, removing excess moisture from the meat. Too much moisture, and you risk an uneven smoking process that could throw off the flavor. So this step is key. These drying rooms are finely tuned with humidity controls to create the perfect environment for flavor absorption while keeping things safe and sanitary. For a more artisanal touch, some producers take a hands-on approach, using cold air tunnels or racks with a gentle breeze circulating the loins. This method leads to a slower, more consistent drying process that some say adds an extra layer of flavor. the pellicle's thickness and texture can even vary depending on the type of wood that will be used for smoking. Different woods may need a slightly different drying time to get that perfect bonding with the meat's flavor profile. Once the pellicle is ready to go, the loins are primed for the next exciting step. Step 4. Smoking the bacon. Now we enter the smoking chambers. If you've ever walked past a barbecue joint and wished you could bottle that smell, well, this is pretty close. These chambers expose the meat to controlled amounts of smoke, primarily from hardwoods like maple, hickory, or even apple wood for a milder, slightly sweeter profile. Smoking temperatures generally range between 120 degrees to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and the process can last anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. During this time, the meat absorbs the deep, smoky essence, while also reaching an internal temperature of around 150 degrees Fahrenheit, ensuring that the bacon is fully cooked and safe to consume without further preparation. For mass production, some manufacturers turn to liquid smoke for a more consistent and controlled flavor. But the true aficionados of Canadian bacon still swear by the traditional wood smoking method. This is because real wood imparts a much more nuanced, complex flavor profile that liquid smoke simply can't replicate. The loins are rotated during the smoking process to ensure they cook evenly and pick up the perfect amount of smoke. By the end of the process, the bacon takes on a deep golden brown color, signaling that it's ready for the next stage of cooling and slicing. There's a fun question for you. Why is it called Canadian bacon? Well, in Canada, it's simply called back bacon. But when it crossed the border, it got a brand new name, and it stuck. Step 5. Chilling and slicing. After leaving the smoking chambers, they glide down a shiny stainless steel conveyor belt into rapid cooling tunnels. Here, a blast of chilled air, kept at a precise 34 to 38 degrees Fahrenheit, hits the meat, locking in that smoky flavor and ensuring the bacon firms up just right. Here's a cool fact. Did you know that rapid chilling helps preserve more than just flavor? It keeps the texture of the bacon intact, preventing it from becoming too soggy or mushy when it's sliced. Once chilled to perfection, the loins hit the slicing machines. These high-speed machines slice the bacon into perfect quarter-inch thick rounds with precision, laser-guided technology, making sure every piece is identical in size and weight. Then, automated arms carefully stack the slices into perfect portions, ready to be packaged and sent out to your next breakfast feast. Pretty cool, huh? Step 6. Packaging and vacuum sealing. Once those perfectly sliced Canadian bacon rounds are stacked up, they cruise down a sanitized conveyor system into the packaging zone. Each slice is carefully placed into plastic trays, or stacked between waxed separator sheets to prevent sticking. The trays then zoom into a vacuum sealing chamber, where the high-powered suction system gets to work, removing all excess oxygen before sealing each pack tightly with heat-sealed plastic film. To keep the bacon fresh for as long as possible, some factories use modified atmosphere packaging. This clever technique swaps out the oxygen inside the pack for a precise mix of carbon dioxide and nitrogen, keeping spoilage at bay and ensuring the bacon stays fresh for up to 45 days in the fridge. Finally, the packs are labeled with lot numbers and expiration dates, boxed up and sent straight to cold storage, ready for shipment to grocery stores and food service providers. Step 8. Distribution and retail. Once the Canadian bacon is packaged, it's sent to cold storages, carefully maintained at 34 to 38 degrees Fahrenheit to preserve its peak freshness. For extended shelf life, some brands take it a step further by blast freezing at a chilling negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Refrigerated trucks equipped with temperature monitoring sensors transport the bacon to grocery stores, wholesalers, and restaurants worldwide. At retail locations, it is stocked in refrigerated display cases or specialty deli sections, ensuring it stays at 40 degrees or below per food safety standards. From there, it's ready for consumers to take home and enjoy, whether crispied up for breakfast, stacked in a sandwich, or used as a gourmet pizza topping. Every slice guarantees freshness, rich flavor, and a perfectly smoked taste. And that's a wrap. You've just learned the fascinating process behind Canadian bacon. Next time you enjoy a crispy breakfast sandwich or a classic Eggs Benedict, you'll know exactly how that delicious Canadian bacon made its way to your plate. As promised, the answer to our trivia question: which country consumes the most bacon per capita? Drum roll please. The answer is Denmark. Who knew, right? If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave us a comment. What's your favorite way to enjoy Canadian bacon? We'll see you in the next video.